So I would like to say I'm a patient man sometimes, but there's always a certain part of me that just can't hold my aggravation or rage, shall I say. And that comes out the most when playing video games. So recently I've just literally come off a game and raged my head off where I had to just delete the game, and I thought, when was the last time I actually did this, and how many times have I done this? The answer is probably a lot. So I thought I'll come up with a little list of 10 games where I think I probably raged the most at. Starting off with Kingdom Hearts 3. Now you're thinking, Kingdom Hearts 3 isn't that much of a rage-worthy game. Well, it was for me. So the initial game of Kingdom Hearts 3 was a bit of a walk in the park, you know. I want to say it wasn't as hard as number 1 and 2, and I did rage a bit on number 1, don't get me wrong, like the end fights on number 1, I did rage a bit because the mechanics are so clunky, but Kingdom Hearts 3, the data battles specifically, which are part of the Remind DLC, made me just want to smash my head through the wall. I'm being honest, like I just want to smash my head through the wall. I don't want to try. I want to play this. I have not got the patience, energy, and I can't even be bothered. I streamed these games, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago now, and I remember streaming these games and doing these data battles. If you don't know what these data battles are, essentially they are different one-on-one fights, and there's different like gates around a certain area. You go into that certain gate and you face that boss, shall I say. Now some of these were hard, but some of them were just an absolute joke. I managed to actually do them all apart from one, which I'll get to in a minute. I want to say there was like 3 or so which just made me want to absolute cry. I remember going off the stream just saying to everyone like, I can't deal with this anymore. I will end up headbutting the wall to death because can't stand this anymore. Like my patience just ran thin with some of these fights. And then after you do all those, there was like a secret boss battle afterwards where, oh my god, it's just like them on steads. And I just literally had to put the controller down, say, I can't do this, and just give up. But like I said, I did like all of the data battles apart from like the secret battle. If you played Kingdom Hearts 3, then you'll probably know what I'm talking about. But honestly, that was some of the most infuriating times I've ever had. Like more infuriating than like Dark Souls games and stuff like that, like easily. You know, like Dark Souls when you go on like boss battles, they were like them where you had to like learn patterns of the bosses, otherwise you will literally just die. Like you had to learn patterns of bosses like Dark Souls, and for me, this was more frustrating than any Dark Souls games I ever played. Now, coming in at number 2, and this might be one of the most rageful moments I think I've ever done. Ever. So being the completionist I am, and was back in the day, I used to play games and try and get all their gamer score or get the platinum trophies. And one of the games I did go for all of the gamer score on was Call of Duty number 2. So I believe this is rated like a 9 out of 10 on like achievement difficulty. And for me, rightly so. I did manage to actually get all the achievements on this, but the amount of pain I went through was just unbelievable. I think I did this game probably about 15 years ago or something now, whenever it was, on the Xbox 360, and I can still remember the rage moments from this day. Like easily top 3 rage moments. Like the other Call of Duties, you have to complete the campaign on veteran difficulty to actually get all the gamer score. But this game may as well not have had NPCs in it. From what I remember, it was very similar to World at War, you know, when you have infinite grenades. There was a lot of that, not to like World at War degree. If you know, you know. But the thing was, the worst thing was the NPCs. The NPCs may as well not even been in the game. They may as well not been in the game. Like, I remember going into like a building on this game, and rather than your NPCs just following you, it was like a massive house, I want to say. I walked into this house and you literally get, I want to say, 2-shotted on this game from what I remember. And I think there's like 10 or so NPCs in this building, enemy NPCs, you know, not the friendly ones that don't do anything. And I just remember getting 2-shotted every 2 minutes. And I remember you had like that ancestor of Captain Price, like it was quite clear that this was Captain Price's ancestor. I think he might have even been called something Price. Literally identical like to Captain Price in Call of Duty 4. And he just stood outside the building this whole time whilst I just ran in there, either got grenaded, 2-shotted, and just when you think that you've cleared out this building, there was some geezer upstairs who decided just to pop you with his pistol or something, and then you had to clear out the whole building again. There were so many different moments on this game that were like that, and I think I punched my ceiling through or something like that. Like, the rage was very real. I can't remember if it broke a controller or something, but this was literally like I needed to scream. I think I snapped the disc in half when I actually completed this game. I'm pretty sure I did. As soon as I got all the gamer score on this, I snapped it in half so I could never play it again. And no one else needed that pain, so I didn't even want to sell that game. Coming in at number 3, one that's quite recent, but you know, not as rageful, and that is Doom 2016. Again, going for all the achievements on this game, I decided to challenge myself a bit more because on this game, you don't really need to do a difficulty setting to get all the trophies. But me being me, I decided to put it on the second hardest difficulty. If you don't know, there's like 4 difficulties, I want to say. I think Nightmare's the mode I went for. The one after that you don't unlock until you actually complete Nightmare. And the game was okay for the most part, up until like the halfway point where I was just absolutely dying. Jesus Christ, guys. Oh, imps, piss off! Ah! If you never played a Doom game, literally, like, there's certain bits in this game where hordes and hordes of, like, demons come at you. And I remember just doing this and, like, near enough crying because the amount of friggin' stress I was going through for this game. And I eventually did complete the campaign with a lot of struggle and depression, I want to say. Probably, again, this is one of the reasons why I don't really go for platinums as much anymore, because I don't want to be doing this sort of stuff. Difficulty spike though was on me. But once you get to this difficulty, you can't put the difficulty down on the 2016 Doom anyway. You can't like throw much through the campaign then put the difficulty down, because I wanted to do that. I wanted to literally start it again and put the difficulty down, but I just plowed through. And then to get all of the trophies, you then have to go through the game again, get on all the collectibles. Another thing I hate games to have. Stop having collectibles in games. They don't mean anything. Some of them look cool, but you know, some of them don't. The ones on Doom actually kind of do look cool. But rather than, you know, going through it on easy, you had to basically use your same save file to get the rest of the collectibles. Like, I couldn't put this back down on easy. I had to go through getting all these collectibles and all these little side objectives back on Nightmare. And yes, my God, was it a nightmare. I literally nearly gave up on this platinum trophy because I just decided to cuckold myself into this cage where I decided to put on Nightmare difficulty where I didn't need to. Don't do it to yourself. Coming in at number 4, another one of my probably most rageful moments, and that was the Crash Bandicoot franchise, the original 3, but the remastered version, so the Insane Trilogy. And this again was because I was going for platinum trophies. I remember getting this trilogy, playing through the original game, got to a certain bit and went, you know, I played the originals before, so I'm not like doing it disjustice by playing, you know, this, that, and the other, then this, that, and the other. So I got through like halfway through it. I think I got to the bit where you're on that bridge and I went, nope, that's enough for that one. Tried to do number 2. I managed to actually do number 2, but oh my God. Oh my God. So probably one of the most hard trophies on this game is to get the time trials, where essentially you have to complete a level in a certain time limit or you will not get the like crystal or something that you need so many of them for a trophy. So I went to Platinum Crash Bandicoot 2 first, and with all these time trials, there were some that were, you know, okay like it is other games. And then there were more like you were just like, how the heck are you meant to do this? Or you will die right at the end and then something will happen right at the end and then you just want to scream. Again, I think I punched something so hard on this where I just hurt my knuckles and I just wanted to cry. I think I screamed like an absolute girl on this. Like, I think this is the most I've ever like high-pitched voice in like my adult years. And you know, after Platinum in this, I thought there is not a goddamn chance I am going for number 1 and 3 on this, because the amount of pain that has just put me through, I just sold the game. I never went back to number 1 or number 3 after that, because I don't think I can stress how much this would just want to hurt me inside, if I'm going to be honest. I know a lot of people have probably done this game and probably think it's not the worst. There is bits of it for me though. I'm just either not very good at the game, that's probably the point, or I don't know. But this was just literally a traumatic experience for me, and I just decided, nope, after that game, no. And I don't think I played a Crash Bandicoot since then, even though there's only been like 1 after that. And I've heard number 4 is like the worst to get the platinum on. There is not a chance I'm going for the platinum on that. I might play that game one day because I did enjoy the games themselves, but that's a no for me for now. Number 5, where it's not like the biggest rage moment I've had, and I would say it's like a mid-rage moment for me. And it's for a game genre I don't really go for most of the time, and it's quite a recent one, like last year. So last year I tried to play the game Alien Isolation, and if you know me, I don't really play horror games. And I thought I'd play this game because I actually like the Alien franchise, and I thought the game looked interesting. because if you've never played this game, essentially you just get stalked everywhere. That's basically a big part of the game. The alien stalks you around everywhere and you can't really do anything to fight it. I mean, if it starts crawling down here now, I'll probably just brick myself and then cry and then probably turn the game off, but please, please, please. Say. What the fuck? So when you eventually encounter the xenomorph or the alien, essentially it creeps around in vents and around all of the place where you're exploring, and you have to move around either really quietly or really slowly, and you have to be aware of every bit of your surroundings, or you'll just have the alien like this jump on your face. Creepy bastard. Where's the save point gone? Wasn't it here? Yep, save it again. Why can you not save so... I did not know that could happen. Yeah, and that's just some of the scares I was getting. Never mind this game being scary. There's a point on this game where I just had to give up. I think because I'm not used to this sort of game where, you know, you have to like creep around, survivally sort of horror-like. I don't play these sort of games, so... And that's probably for the reason why I rage so much. Again, I was going for the platinum for this, though. There's a reoccurrence here. If you don't want to rage at these certain games, put them on an easier difficulty. Like, literally put them on an easier difficulty. I had this on the hardest difficulty, I believe. So I think, like, the alien knows where you are, like, easier than you do on, like, easy mode. So I was literally walking from, like, here to the end of the room, and the alien was just on my face every goddamn 2 seconds, and I just could not take it anymore. I was not having fun with this game, and if you're not having fun with the game, put it down. I hate you. I really hate you! I tried to go back to it, I want to say about 3 times. I just can't enjoy it. I just can't enjoy it, and that's for that reason. I did rage a bit at it, and I just put it down. And I don't think I'll go back to that anytime soon. It's annoying, I might go back to it one day and play it on an easier difficulty because I do like the franchise and I've heard it's a brilliant game. I did enjoy the game from what it was, and then there was just a point where I just like was stop enjoying it. I just stopped enjoying it, and it was just like, yeah, that's enough for now. So another kind of recent, not recent one, is Dragon Ball Budokai 1. So the game itself is a bit more challenging compared to, like, you know, your most recent Dragon Ball games where you can kind of like blitz through the story and then you're done. The AI on this game was a bit more cracked, and if you put it on the hardest difficulty, holy, they turn into a different kind of android. Like, you could be throwing hands with the NPCs on this game and get them down to like a minuscule of their health, and then for some reason they just decide to switch a switch in their head and absolutely obliterate you. Oh my god, you piece of shit android! Die! Oh, what? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. What the hell? No. 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 The amount of times you try and do this on like the hardest difficulty is insane. Even on normal difficulty, this game can be frustrating as frick. I'm dodging. I am pressing. Stop! My hands are killing me! I went to get the platinum on this and I played it through on normal. Gave it a few goes on the hardest difficulty recently as well, and I just realized, like, this game is absolutely, like, what the hell? We don't have Dragon Ball games this hard anymore. Or, you know, like, fighting games, like, story-based fighting games anymore. They're not this cracked anymore. They're not. I very much raged at this on the hardest difficulty, and I did a few times on normal, like, when you face, I think it's Android 19 and Cell. They're, like, the most annoying fights. I was just getting kicked around everywhere. Now, this one, I kind of done a lot of raging off camera. I did a playthrough like last year or the year before of the Metal Gear Solid franchise, Metal Gear Solid 1 to 3. And I'll admit, I'm not a very good player at these games. Like, I'm really not. And I edited these videos and I basically had to cut so many rage moments out of these because I just wanted to smash my controller sometimes. And it is because I'm bad at the game. There were so many different moments in like the fights or where you had to like run around, you're getting caught, then you die, then you have to respawn, try and sneak through a certain area again. And I was absolutely livid with this game. This is one of the most recent ones as well. Like I said, I think this was like the last 2 or 3 years. This wasn't like I want to punch my face through a wall, but it was very much I'm shouting at this game, shall I continue? I did, and I'm glad I did, because I actually really like the Metal Gear Solid franchise. I like the story and everything. I'm just not a very good player at them. I don't know if that's even a thing, if you can be a bad player at Metal Gear Solid, but I am. Next. Another Call of Duty, surprise, surprise, that I played near enough every Call of Duty on Veteran, and this is another memorable one, and it's not World at War. But World at War probably would be up there. But the Call of Duty I'm talking about is Modern Warfare 2, the original one. So the campaign itself on Modern Warfare 2, playing it on Veteran difficulty, you know, it's not that bad. It's okay. It's not the easiest, but it's not the hardest. Probably raged a few times going through the campaign, but not as much as I did with the Spec Ops missions. If you don't know what the Spec Ops missions are, basically they're little side story based kind of missions, and they go up in difficulty every time you like complete one, if I remember correctly. And there's so many different like challenges and waves of enemies that come at you, and if you die, you basically have to start that mission again. They were some painful times, I tell you. I remember there was ones with like Juggernauts where they were just like impenetrable and you had to like kill them with certain guns. I want to say like the Barrett 50 cal might have been the gun. I might be incorrect. And you basically had to do all these Spec Op missions, I believe, to get a achievement at the time. And holy crap. I remember doing this on co-op, and I think there was some you had to actually do it on your own as well. And the stress we went through to try and get these achievements. Holy crap. I can't even remember if I got them all, but I remember getting near enough them all. I might have got them all, but I can't remember, but it was friggin' hard, I tell you that. And I don't feel like Call of Duties or any first-person games are this hard these days, exception for maybe like Wolfenstein 2, which I haven't played because there's a certain mode on that where for an achievement or a trophy, you have to go through the whole game without dying. No, thank you. Next, kind of like a memorable one, Final Fantasy VII Remake. And again, this is because I was going for all the trophies again. The game itself isn't too hard, and then you have to basically, for another trophy, play this on the hardest difficulty. And I did get frustrated a little bit at the Hell House. I'm pretty sure I did the Hell House, like, I don't know, first or second try. It didn't take me too long on hard difficulty. Weirdly enough, that wasn't the thing I raged at. It was the fights later on in like that simulator sort of thing where you face like the summons and whatever. Like you have to go through like all these different like boss battles and do them all in one sitting. And if you don't, then you just have to start them again. Frickin' hell, this frustrated the crap out of me. I've heard there's a like another hard thing on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as well. I've not even tried to go for the platinum of that yet. I want to get the platinum for that because it's one of those games where I adore so much that I would love to have the platinum in my collection for that, even though I don't go for them anymore as much. But I don't know what this frustrating thing is yet. I've not even looked it up. It could be something like this again. And if it's more frustrating than this one, oh, God help me. I've got to at least try it one day. But I remember literally getting to maybe like the second to last like boss fight in this like phase of fights you had to do. And I just kept dying. Then you had to go back, change your strategy, keep doing another one, screaming out loud, putting it down for a day, coming back the next day, couldn't do it the next day, tried again the next day. The next day I might have done it. I can't remember. I did it eventually. And I remember after doing that, I want to say like a year later, I was watching someone play this for the first time. And then I watched them do it in like one sitting. Yeah, that one stung. That one stung. Now this one I'm going to put in like a combined sort of effort. The Dark Souls or the Soulsborne franchise. So my experience with like Dark Souls, I played all the Dark Souls games and completed all the Dark Souls, but I did them all basically co-op, I want to say. A fight here or there, I didn't do co-op. I know, throw your pitchforks at me because I know this is kind of sacrilege. You should play this game on your own to get the proper experience, I want to say. And I played Elden Ring alone from what I did of Elden Ring. I've not completed Elden Ring yet. Another sacrilege. And with these Dark Souls games and, you know, Elden Ring, my worst enemy on these games weren't the enemies. It was gravity. The amount of times I fell off a ledge or something else like that, and you just get so far, you run past, you go past like some weird dark place, you fall down a hole, or you just slip off and you die. Oh, holy crap. I died on these games to gravity more than anything else. Like, hands down. But I remember basically doing all of Elden Ring essentially alone, and there were some frustrating times in this. I can't remember what the boss was called, but I remember this boss specifically because I think it's one that I got stuck on, like, first for the longest amount of time, and I just had to go off the game. I think I was streaming this again at the time, and I just had to, like, my head went. And that was the Draconic Tree Sentinel. That's like when the game started to get like, okay, we're getting a bit serious here. You know, it was serious from the off, but you can eventually, like, get past these bosses. Got to that one, I was like, oh my god, I'm just getting blitzed down by a bit of lightning. You get him down to so much, and then a little bit of lightning just killed me. I think the boss I got to on this, I got past Radahn, raged a bit on him, but you know, that wasn't too bad. I'll admit I did that with like an NPC summon. I did that fight with an NPC summon. I'll count that as semi-alone. But this one, I did it alone. I was like, oh my god, this is just unbelievable. You kind of expect that from these sort of games anyway, so it's just one of those moments where you just gotta grin and bear it, but it was very, very, very annoying. And the boss fight I got to was like, the second time you fight Margit. I need to really play through this game properly. Started this game like twice. I want to say I put like 60 hours or so into both playthroughs into one, or 70, something like that. I've put a lot of hours into this game, but not as much as like other people have. But yeah, very rage moments on that. I raged a bit on Dark Souls like 1 to 3, but not to this degree because I was like my first time playing this sort of genre on my own. I want to try and complete that this year if I can. And the last one is Toy Story 2. I remember playing Toy Story 2 when I was a kid and absolutely enjoying this game. I think I had to get like my mum and dad to help me play this game on certain levels because I couldn't do it. And then I played it again a couple of years ago, and I went into this game with a lot of nostalgia because I could remember a lot of these levels from my childhood. And holy crap! Some of this was frustrating as heck. The camera angles on this game are just ass. They really are. I think there was a certain bit on this game where I was just like, what the hell am I playing? I think it's like the elevator level where you're going up and down in the elevator. The amount of times I fell down that elevator because of the camera angle. There was a certain level as well where you're climbing a tree, you get to the top of the tree, you fall down. There's so many different places in this game, you just fall. So yeah, Toy Story is another one of those games where I just hated gravity. Gravity, I think, on any game for me is like, here we go, we've got Stringo here. Stringo's playing this game. Make sure gravity's in it because it's gonna get him. It always does. It literally, it always does. And Toy Story, like, this game's meant to be for kids. What's this rated? I'm actually gonna look this one up. It's apparently rated E for everyone. So, okay, it's for everyone, but you know, it's like pushed towards children. And like I said, when I was a child, I couldn't do this. I did a couple of years ago, I managed to complete it, but freaking heck, there were some frustrating bits on this. I think there's like the last boss battle. You can do a certain thing to make it go a bit better. Can't remember it properly. I remember doing it the easy way. I want to play this game again because I know you can actually get trophies on this now. Do I want to go through some pain again of camera angles? Maybe not. The same sort of things happens on like Sonic Adventure and stuff. You go around on that game and oh my god, some of the camera angles on those games are annoying. Same with a load of other like older platformer games. If the camera angles aren't there, it's going to be quite rage-inducing. It really is. That's why I like remasters and remakes, because they're making them more playable. Because some games that are old now, they're just like, some of them like literally are unplayable. Another one I tried to play was Star Wars Bounty Hunter. I think there was something to do with the camera angles or something along those lines on that game as well, which just pissed me off. Not saying they're bad games, by the way. I'm not saying any of these are bad games. They're all pretty good games. It's just games that I'm either bad at or they're just a pain in the ass. And I rage more than anything on online games. I didn't want to say any online games because there's so many online games that I rage at. I've just been playing Barking Zero Online. Raged my nuts off on that. I've just deleted the game. I'll probably end up installing it again like after a week. I think I've raged on every Call of Duty online or any FPS game online. I've probably raged my nuts at. Probably one of the reasons I don't play FPS games anymore. I just can't be arsed with the stress. And another reason why I don't platinum games as much anymore, because I can't be arsed with the stress. But yeah, these are just some games where I basically wanted to bash my head in on a wall on some of these, and that's especially with Call of Duty 2 and Crash Bandicoot 2, or the Crash Bandicoot series in general. Like, I know this list isn't like the hardest base games. I know it's not like any Cupheads or Battletoads or anything on there like that. I don't even know if I want to play those games because of how rage-inducing they apparently are. Apparently they're meant to be like next level rage-inducing. I might try them one day. I feel like I should probably try them one day, but if I don't like them, then it is what it is. But yeah, this is just a video of my thoughts and my games. Not saying any of these games are bad, by the way, like I said. Let me know yours down below. Subscribe if you're new, because I do videos like this, like, near enough every week. So if you do enjoy that thing, press that subscribe button, hit the like button if you like this video, and I'll see you next time.